Good evening, Rocket League fans. Welcome to Minor League Doubles.
There's still a big chance here for anyone to take this in regulation, and this is
No!
10 seconds are gone, and the ball.
With both members of Orange out of net right now, towards the net. This is a need. Numerics puts it in. This game's not over yet.
Bring out your predictions. Bring out your scores. Let's see where we go. Game 7. Winner moves on. Loser goes home. Fridge in position. Scores.
Just an insane series.
I just typed in chat. I can feel my heart beat. It's so tense.
What a series.
All right, we're back for Saturday night prime time here on the MLE Network. This time, of course, with the old driver Dazarin. A few hours ago, we saw the Flames take down the Puffins in a 4-1 affair, and we've got two more matches tonight, starting off with the Tigers versus the Blizzard. And the second match going to be the Hurricanes versus the Wolves. It's going to be more cross-division action, but a bit of David versus Goliath with the Blizzard comfortably atop the Arctic Division, and the Tigers, unfortunately, at the bottom of the pack in the Tropics. So we'll have to see how today plays out. Daz, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for the Tigers, they're going to want to try to get a win out of this. It'll definitely boost their position in the league standings. As like you said, they're sitting at the bottom of the Tropic Division, down only from the Pandas by 2 games. So if they can come out on top with 3 games and hopefully the Pandas drop their matches, I'm not sure if they played earlier this weekend. But if they have...
yesterday, yeah.
Oh, but still, if they're able to come out on top with a positive win, it'll still boost their position in the standings. But like you said, this is a tough mountain to climb with the Blizzard, number 1 team, according to last week, in the Arctic Division, and they're looking to keep that title.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a David versus Goliath. The numbers definitely say that as well. The Blizzard take a lot of shots. They've taken 140 shots compared to the Tigers, who have taken 102. At least that shooting percentage fairly close for both of them. The Blizzard at 45% and the Tigers sitting at 50%. But it's all going to be about how that defense locks down. That's what Jay and I thought it was going to be earlier on with the Puffins versus the Flames matchup. But actually, the Puffins did a fairly nice job keeping possession over on their opponent's side. And we'll have to see what the Tigers bring out here against the Blizzard. This is only the second series that Banjo has played with this new team of his, as he was just recently picked up. And, of course, Kyle on the Blizzard, a very recent pickup for the Blizzard as well, as this is only his 3rd series.
Yeah, so going to be interesting to see how these teams mesh up with their more fresher players. Both teams kind of coming out with the fresh style players as teams join the lobby. For the Tigers, going to be running Banjo and Porkchop, Blizzard, Kyle the Murphy, and the Hamburglar.
The Hamburglar. That's quite a name.
Oh, that's very unique. Well, kind of unique, but I mean, we haven't seen that in Rocket League. There's no McDonald's names in Rocket League.
Not yet, Kappa. Let's go ahead and get this one underway. Game number 1, it is going to be a set of 5. Things are going to start off nicely for the Tigers, actually. Porkchop got a lot of time and space to work with out against the side wall, has a chance to follow through, but Hamburglar they come through and punch that one away.
You got Hamburglers and Porkchops in this match. There's a lot of food references.
I haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm upset at these two guys. I'm upset.
Oh, I have, and Porkchops and Hamburgers were both on there, but Porkchop is going to score. He catches Kyle the Murphy out on defense.
Yeah, Kyle definitely in a good position to take this one. Just a little bit of hesitation, making sure he read that bounce properly. Unfortunately, that little bit of hesitation caused that ball to just go right past him. It was an easy follow-through, so the Tigers starting off well here. We'll have to see if the Blizzard are able to bounce back. Blizzard actually a very solid offensive team. Forget about that. Porkchop's like, I don't care about your offense. We're up 2-0.
Yeah, it seems as though the defense is what's being exploited here on the Blizzard. Hamburglar goes up, but doesn't quite have the right jump and is struggling to make a change in position in the air. There's a word for that that's much shorter than I'm forgetting.
Recovery.
Yeah, basically. And yet again, that's now both members of the Blizzard who end up making a defensive mistake that caused them a goal.
We'll have to see if the offense is able to step it up, as the Tigers don't exactly have the strongest defense. They've allowed just over 3 goals, and the Blizzard usually are allowing per game about 2.5. So Blizzard are at their limit, but they've got a long way to go here throughout the rest of this game. Number 1, follow through from Porkchop right at Kyle. And this time around, he will come down with the clear.
Blizzard
Watch out to
starting. Oh, sorry.
No, after you continue, who cares? Hamburglar into the top left. It's 2-1.
Yeah, I was gonna say Blizzard starting to warm up. After that clear from Kyle, you could tell that he was starting to get focused and comfortable. That's a nice pass play. Pork Chop in a bad position, looking into his own net, not at the ball. That's a tough save to make regardless. And then Hamburglar follows through and now brings the deficit down to 1.
Another kickoff again into the Tigers' half. Cleared away up the side wall. Kyle going to deny that midfield boost. Going to leave Banjo on 0. Should be fairly difficult for him to cleanly get this ball out to mid. Can't even deny that corner boost. It's going to be a long drive back for Banjo as this one off the corner. It's a great bounce for the Blizzard. Kyle's up for it. What a touch from Pork Chop, but it's out in the middle of the field, and Banjo quickly rushes up on top of that to slow down the follow-through from the Blizzard.
Lucky save there from the Tigers. They don't want to allow the Blizzard to start getting warmed up, which is kind of funny because they're nice.
They're ice cold.
Yeah. But the Blizzard, they're looking to get more and more comfortable as this match goes on, and that's when they'll start to become more of a threat. Banjo, though, with a slick shot.
Slick shot is right. Just catches this one beautifully off the sidewall. Double commit into that corner for the boost for the Blizzard. Unfortunately, they leave the net wide open. And Banjo, like you said, slick shot into the top right. The lead extends to 2 again for the Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers in a good spot now. Like you said, they're still up 2 goals, which is great handling this Blizzard team. They usually only give up, like you said, 2.5 goals. So now the Tigers starting to extend that statistic a little bit more with how well they're performing on offense.
Pork Chop off the back wall, wants 2, not going to happen. Hamburglar, a bit of a weak clear, follow through from Banjo. Actually a pass, they went for the 1-2 and came up empty. Big chance to clear here for the Hamburglar. Kyron going to be a little bit hamstrung back on defense as he misses that clear and he's get bailed out courtesy of the Hamburglar. But the Tigers overall, they've put up some pretty solid offensive numbers here at the start of game 1, sitting on 5 shots so far. They found the back of the net 3 times, and Blizzard definitely going to have to make some adjustments. They've still got a little bit of time here in game 1.
Yeah, as we approach the later half of the match, the Blizzard, they've only had 1 shot on goal. Make that 2, and both shots have gone in. Another slick one, this time from Kyle Murphy.
Yeah, good intercept out of the midfield from the Hamburglar, and what an angle. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even think I'd make that shot every time, but I've got a lot of...
That's honestly true. That's a slick angle. He's not facing the net at all, and then just has to get that perfect spin on the top of his mantis to redirect that into the net. That was very nice.
Very nice is the right way to put it. Banjo boost down into the ground. He's got the Decennium Pro wheels from going to the RLCS Season 3 LAN. Hamburglar towards the back wall. Missed touch from Banjo. Follow through by Kyle. Chance for the equalizer, and once again, Banjo up to meet him. But he's limited on boost now. Misses that midfield boost as well, and it's all on how Pork Chop can hold off this Blizzard offense. It's a slow shot towards the net, off target as well by Kyle. Minute 38, nice high pop for Banjo. This time around, able to secure that midfield. How about 2 touches and skies it high, just a little bit late on the jump.
Yeah, if he would have got that double touch, it would have extended. I mean, it looked like that was going in. If it would have went in, it would have extended the Tigers' lead back again to 2. That's the kind of the sweet spot that they want to keep. As long as they have that 2-goal lead, it's easy for them to be able to run out the clock against the Blizzard. And Pork Chop almost with a chance. No, that doesn't go in. It's off the post.
Denied by the woodwork. The Blizzard dodge a bullet, and a huge chance to equalize gone by the wayside as well as Kyle Murphy driving down on the far side. This one to the right side of the net, however, and the Hamburglar locks things up just over a minute left.
Yeah, Hamburglar now scoring that tying goal. You see Pork Chop try to come back. He sends it off to the wall and hopes that the ball will go up and roll off of it, but it bounces right off. Banjo's not expecting it, but the Hamburglar's in perfect position to score that equalizing goal.
We've got a battle here at the beginning of the series between the Tigers and the Blizzard. Pork Chop had a little bit of lag. He was just sitting at 500 ping.
Yeah, I saw that.
Down to 80 just now. And I'm sure he's thankful for that as we move into the final 50 seconds of game number 1. Pork Chop through 1, slowly out of the corner. No problem for Murphy in the net. Kyle kind of struggling to get these long, powerful touches. He's got a good way to get around a couple members, and Hamburglar as well, going to stall the offense with that demo, but Kyle really needs to come up with those touches as he's trying to flick it off that long mantis, as Jay put it earlier today, that flat car syndrome. It's tough to really square up those flicks. There's a right way to do it, and it's hard.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, if you can get it down, it works out for you perfectly. But if you're not used to it, it can be rough. And we're looking at with 12 seconds left, we're looking to go into OT unless that shot goes in. Oh, it's on target.
Okay, Kyle the Murphy says, I may not be able to flick the ball, but boy, can I square one up off the front nose. Banjo goes to that left corner, and a very nice delayed touch from Kyle the Murphy. Waits just a split second longer before contacting that ball, catches it with the left corner of the car, goes all the way to the far post. No chance for the defender. And the Tigers sitting pretty at the start of game number 1 with a comfortable 2-0 lead. Have unfortunately blown it, but this is their best chance yet. This one just a little bit too fast. Porkchop needs to keep it up. Game 1's going to fall just out of reach. And Blizzard advance in the series 1-0.
Unfortunate is a key word that can describe the Tigers right now, as they were up in this. They were up by two goals, I should say, for a majority of the series. They started out with a 2-0 lead. Blizzard came back by 1. Then they increased it to 3-1. Then the Blizzard came back, ended up tying it up. Yep, they just came and scored 3 straight unanswered. And afterwards, just you look at it, they're 4 for 4. They haven't missed, and all of their goals have been assisted. So just a lot of team play from the Blizzard, and they definitely deserve the win because they used their team play in order to score. And the Tigers, although they started off strong, they just couldn't hold on due to the Blizzard's very impressive offense.
Yeah, the scoreboard statistics for the Blizzard actually went 2-1, or was it 2-2-1-2? Yeah, it must have went 2-2-1-2 because they had the exact same scoreboard statistics for both of their teams. The only difference, the intangibles between them at the end of that game number 1. Took them a little bit to get rolling on the defensive side of things. Eventually, they figured out a way to stop the Tigers, and we'll see what game 2 has in store. It's Banjo hard off that back wall. Not the best bounce. Does get an okay touch. Unfortunately, that bounce doesn't quite go out into the center of the pitch, kind of lined up with Porkchop, and a very difficult attempt on net. Follow through, going to be just wide. The first 30 seconds, again, the Blizzard find themselves under some early pressure, but this time around, they keep the net clean.
Yeah, this time net has been clean. The Tigers not able to get a specific shot on net. Oh, nice dribble coming out from, I believe that was the Hamburger. As he ends up bringing it up to get the ball. Try to hold on to it. Does that go in? That's on target. Well, that's an easy way to score the first goal.
Yeah, Kyle the Murphy just trying to challenge this one, keep it in the mix of things. Unfortunately, he's just a little bit too far away, delays that touch getting to that ball in the corner and keeping it on the orange half, and just ends up launching it into his own net. So again, the Tigers are strike first, and this time they've got an infinite shooting percentage with 1 goal and no shots.
That's like where you get the noise that goes wah wah wah.
Oh, bar down, and no, he missed it. Oh. Okay, Hamburglar, thank you. I was about to have a heart attack.
You see Kyle going for a shot, and then Hamburger was like, oh, it's in. He's like, wait, let me come and just make sure. Because that was definitely almost clear. Banjo almost makes the save, but he ends up whiffing, and then Hamburger seals the deal.
That was an experience right in front of the Tigers' net. Thankfully, the Blizzards do get their goal for it. A great bump into the midfield. Kyle Murphy almost pool-shotting his opposition into the net. Now Porkchop aggressive. After you.
I was going to say, Kyle needs to be careful making those 50-50 challenges with the Tigers because they haven't been working out too well for him. That was almost twice where he would have accidentally owned goal. And you have to be careful with how he's challenging the ball.
They cut one down. Unfortunately, Banjo coming in from the 90-degree angle, able to find the clear. The long tap going to be off the back wall of the Tigers, and Porkchop the only one there. Hard bounce out to the midfield. And again, off this Tigers' right corner this time around. Intercepted out of the midfield by Hamburglar, and Porkchop there to meet it as well. A little bit of ping pong between the two teams to get started here after the next kickoff, and this one just going to be cleared away. An aggressive dive at it from Banjo. Porkchop not really able to square that one up. Gives away the ball as well. Maybe a mistake. A double commit on defense. Hamburglar's going to be up. Just misjudges the distance of the ball. Up a bit too soon and can't recover. He will have to let the Tigers clear the ball.
Right now, we're approaching halftime. The game is tied up, and that's honestly something that's, I would say, notable for the fact that, especially considering the scorelines between the two teams last matchup, it just seems as though both teams are kind of going neck and neck. We've seen opportunities from both sides, and still no one able to really just close in on the net.
Banjo out of the midfield, big mistouch. Hamburglar trying to stay with it, can't come up. Kyle Murphy in a 1-on-2. Over one is Porkchop. Can he race it down? Gives himself some time. Demo not going to come through. Hamburglar runs out of steam, and Porkchop takes the lead back for the Tigers.
Yeah, that's a nice 50-50 win, getting that past Kyle. And then right before the Hamburglar can make contact, Porkchop jumps up, has enough time to think about where he wants to put it easily in the open net. And now the Tigers have taken, they've now taken the lead.
We saw them in a fairly similar situation in the last game. It's just a matter if they can lock it down this time around. Hamburglar securing that midfield boost. Kyle Murphy out into the corner, also going to steal that corner boost as well. Open net for Hamburglar, unfortunately cut the angle a little bit too sharply. It will be returned all the way down to the Blizzard zone. Favorable bounce off the back wall, a little bit too close, however, and Banjo now in command of this dribble, gets it out into the corner. A good follow through by Hamburglar, but unfortunately a little bit too much speed and can't quite stay with the cut.
Yeah, right now Banjo, Porkchop's just letting him control the ball, do whatever he wants to do with the dribble, and Porkchop follows up. Right now Porkchop's 2 for 2, which technically isn't true because there was that pinch from Kyle at the beginning of the matchup, but he did score. He did score a nice play to getting it past Kyle later on. So it seems though Porkchop, he's just running the offense for the Tigers right now. He wants to let Banjo do what he can to get the ball downfield, and then Porkchop plays clean.
Ooh, big miss from Banjo. Porkchop didn't have any time to grab boost. Thankfully had about 60 to work with. So now he races back into the net with his boost stores significantly depleted. Really hoping that Banjo was able to secure a clear for his team, as thankfully that corner boost spawns as well. Doesn't pick it up. High loft into the net, off the bar, cleared away, follow through by Kyle into the left side. It's locked at twos.
Yeah, great job from Kyle to be able to tie this up. He already sensed the shot high, and Banjo had to come out of the net for this one. And then he has to win that 50-50 challenge with Porkchop. Porkchop can't get contact, and Kyle just eases the ball past him to tie up this matchup. It's not over yet. We still have 55 seconds.
Good follow through by Kyle Murphy. I actually thought that ball might have pinched off the bar, but unfortunately the timing just slightly off, and would have been a much needed clear for the Tigers crew, but this time a pinch off the sidewall, gonna send it all the way down, high into the corner. Hamburglar patiently in the net, no problem clearing that one away. A little bit lax, trying to get up and go for that ball. On the way out, Hamburglar will give a little bit of a love tap over to Banjo, opens the door a little bit for Kyle. Around one, denying that corner boost once again. We've seen the Blizzard command the boost on the pitch fairly effectively, but it's really been the Tigers who need to find out these clears. They've had the ability to find the clears, but the final 15 seconds as we wind down towards overtime, we have to see what the Tigers come up with. Hard pinch. Actually going to hit this ball a little bit early. It will stay in this Tigers corner. Still no boost. It just spawned behind Porkchop, but it doesn't matter. It's going to go to overtime. Daz, who are you going to take?
Got the Blizzard. If they're able to come out and pressure the Tigers early on, then they could most definitely seal the deal with this. They're already starting to bring the ball down to the side net. The Tigers are going to have to work on getting the ball out of their zone. If they can't get the ball out of their zone, then it's just going to be more offensive shots from the Blizzard until one goes in.
Yep, definitely agree with that. The clear is the name of the game for the Tigers. It's a nice high bounce. Banjo, did he get that boost? He did. He denied that boost to Hamburglar. Out. Big whiff from Porkchop. Chance to clear for the Blizzard, but still Porkchop in command. Slow shot towards the net. Demo on one because he denied the boost in the corner. He will leave it and take the ball and comes up empty with that as well. The follow through from Porkchop. Chance to be kept away. The Tigers kind of just hanging out in this right corner of the Blizzard. Kind of struggling to get the touches out into the midfield. Everybody's going to miss. Kyle's going to tap it into the corner, and the Tigers come up empty.
Yeah, very unfortunate for them. They were enjoying being in that Blizzard corner. Ball's not on their end. They could try to ease it into the net, see if they can just fake the Blizzard defense out. There's a shot opportunity. Oh, he gets it off the sidewall. That's going to go on back wall. That's gonna go.
Oh, my goodness. Porkchop. Oh, my goodness. The recovery from Hamburglar. Both members of the Blizzard missing that huge clear. They have to reset themselves here. Banjo out. Not the best touch. Cuts it in. Hesitates. Actually saves the own shot. That would have been an own goal from Banjo. Posting in, but thankfully, Hamburglar right in front of the corner, and it stays locked at twos.
Yeah, both teams have shot opportunities, but still, no one put enough power behind the ball to really bring it into the net. It's been very close calls, but still no one able to make it. Pork Chop, again, another opportunity, goes up, but just misreads the ball's trajectory. And now, Ray, with that 50-50, does Kyle redeem himself? He does. That's going to be a Blizzard win.
That is a tough break for the Tigers. You had a couple of opportunities. Again, the perfectly timed challenge from Kyle. Pork Chop, a little bit too much faith and his teammate having a reasonable 50-50, and it went straight into the net, unable to recover. The Blizzard will continue their series wins with 2 now in a row, and it's going to have to be the Tigers again coming out of the rally bin.
Yeah, that's such an ironic win from Kyle. He owned goals at the beginning of the game based off of a 50-50 pinch, and then he wins the game in overtime based off of a 50-50 pinch.
Easy.
I mean, I guess that makes up for earlier, right? He's like,
for sure.
You know, this could work. Okay, whatever brings the ball in the net, I guess.
Win's a win, baby.
Yeah, man. Tigers, they put up a great fight. They were able to tie up the matchup. It was close. They both had opportunities. Still, there's just being a lot more whiffs in front of the net and a lot more misreads of the ball when it's coming off of that back wall from a pass play from that sidewall corner. No one's able to kind of read the ball right. And that's been kind of the name of the game. There's also been the lack of clears on defense and how teams just easily can just play that ball off the corner for right now.
Yeah, the Blizzard have certainly had their fair share of big misses right in front of the net. Here's a chance for Banjo. Squares one up towards the net. No chance for Hamburglar. And again, the Tigers are on the board first.
Yep, just take it back. You see, after the kickoff, Kyle, he has the space and the time. All he had to do was make contact. That ball would have sailed right over the Tigers, and he couldn't make contact. Now Banjo's left within the open net, and he makes sure he doesn't miss.
Now it all comes down to the Tigers. I was about to say the Blizzard have had a couple of big mistouches right in front of their own net, and then they had one out in the middle of the pitch. And honestly, I feel like if the Tigers capitalize on these big misclear opportunities the Blizzard have had, then might again see some more overtimes as Pork Chop slowly into the corner. Does not deny the corner boost, but a chance here for Banjo towards the left. Is going to be off the back wall. Kyle can't get it. Pork Chop on a dribble. High tap. Far down and in. That'll do it. The 2-0 lead for the Tigers.
Yeah, great job here from Pork Chop. There's a nice pass from Banjo. Hamburglar nor Kyle can read it. They both flip without being close enough to the ball, and the Pork Chop gets that soft touch that goes right over both of them. And like you said, bar down and in. Tigers up 2-0.
All comes down to the Blizzard. They've scored what, 4 goals in both of their games now, correct? Did they score 4 last game? I don't remember. Maybe Blizzard, it was just 3. Yeah, it was 2-2. It was 2-2. So yeah, they scored 3 last game. But yeah, the Blizzard definitely have been able to score goals against the Tigers. That's a great pass into the midfield, and he would love a second chance at that. Pork Chop comes up empty off a beautiful center. And the pressure being applied early on in this match, we're only a minute in. There's spent a lot of time on the blue half.
Yeah, definitely. The Tigers, they want to get a strong early lead because they feel like they can hold it on, and they're starting to build up momentum. Now you're starting to see them be more proactive off of the ball, whether it's going to take boosts, but mainly what I've noticed is they're starting to get bumps in to buy the other team time. Back when that pop-up was happening, Pork Chop made a bump onto Kyle so he wouldn't be able to knock the ball downfield. So being more proactive on the ball can have, off the ball I should say, does have its benefits.
The Tigers definitely demonstrating that ability very nicely here in game number 3. Nice and great pass again. Pork Chop maybe expecting a clear or a challenge from the Blizzard in the corner. Banjo was able to go clean through them out of the way as Kyle now shut down by Pork Chop as well. Just dish it out to mid gently and he'll be right there. Tries to take it himself and will. Pork Chop 1-2 tap off the back wall.
So off the ball, Hamburglar constantly is bumping Banjo. He gets 2 bumps while Pork Chop is bringing the ball on the sidewall. So focused on making sure Banjo doesn't get that second rotation that he doesn't realize Pork Chop is going to try to put that in all by himself, and he does just that.
The Tigers sitting pretty here in game number 3. Blizzard have definitely struggled to get a firm grasp on the ball in terms of possession as Pork Chop out to meet Hamburglar in the middle of the box. And it's a breakaway onto the Blizzard half. Shot slowly towards the net. No chance. He can't turn it away. Hamburglar had no boost and no chance.
Yeah, you can see just Banjo trying to bump and fight with Kyle. Pork Chop's bumping and fighting with Hamburglar, but he can't get that touch to intercept the pass. That being said, once it rolls right past him, that's an open net for Pork Chop, and he makes sure to score it.
This is one of those games that the Blizzard are in danger of getting blown out. Jay and I were having a little bit of a talk before about some interesting statistics, and he told me that the Blizzard, they have a 13-7 record, but they have a negative score differential, so they get blown out when they lose, but they do tend to win a lot of very close games, and that statistic seems to continue here in game number 3. The Tigers, not even halfway through, already had a 4-goal lead, and the Blizzard kind of just riding it out at this point.
Yeah. At this point, if the Blizzard, they have enough time to be able to score 4. They only have 2:20 left. That's plenty of time for these guys. The struggle is getting past the Tigers right now. They have all the momentum, and you can see they're starting to go up for aerial passes down the field. They're looking very comfortable right now, just waiting for the Blizzard to make mistakes, and then they try to move in to capitalize. And it's like they're listening to us, because that's exactly what we mentioned was going to be the name of the game before this match started.
Clear the ball, win game, confirmed. Hamburglar not able to get through one. Touch through Kyle Murphy. Porkchop in an awkward position off the back wall. Follow through. The Blizzard finally have a brief stint here on the offensive side of things. Another missed touch by Kyle. Hamburglar now off the side wall. Porkchop in the corner. Challenge. Dribble out of the midfield. Big missed touch, and it will stay on the Tigers' half. Banjo kind of limited on his defensive options as he's got no boost. He was waiting in the net there for a long time. Just never felt comfortable going out and finding some. Porkchop finally drives it onto the Blizzard zone, and all he can do is delay and hope Porkchop gets back. He will split away and casually pick up his corner boost. He's going to try and chase this one down, and he will be beat out by the Hamburglar. Follow through by Porkchop, cleared away. A minute left. The Blizzard kind of just hoping to get one on the board and move into game 4.
Yeah, what they're doing right now is fighting the Tigers for possession, but even when they have that possession, they end up giving it right back just with like long clears or just long pass plays. They get the ball, they have it in their possession, next thing you know, they boom it. And then at least close chances like that where Banjo almost comes up with a point, you don't want to give the Tigers any more space with the ball. You want to be able to drive the ball downfield, kind of how the Tigers have been. And then after you bring it downfield to hold it, they just haven't been able to hold it. They've just given up possession time and time again.
Great challenge out in front of the box. Goes under Kyle. What a hero save. Unfortunately, the damage already done in game number 3. Beautiful clear. Unfortunately, this game been closer. That could have been a difference maker. A long bomb downfield. Again, Hamburglar with no boost. Can't track it down, and the lead extends to 5. And that is certainly going to wrap up game number 3. The Tigers get themselves back into the series with a win.
Yeah, what a big win. 5-0. Completely shutting out the Blizzard. Only recorded shots by the Hamburglar, and that's just 1. Other than that, and that's also been saved by Porkchop. Other than that, we have 9 recorded shots from the Tigers, just extremely on point in terms of how they've been playing offensively. And they've caught out the Blizzard and exploited them on defense multiple times in order to get that score.
Yeah, and really all we saw out of this game was the Tigers aggressively challenging things out of the midfield. They didn't really do anything too special. They kind of just got on top of the Blizzard early in their half. They managed the boost in the midfield this time around. They were able to close them in on that half, and the Blizzard kind of struggling. Like we said earlier, Kyler Murphy and the Hamburger were really struggling to square that ball up, get those nice long clears out into space that are so effective in 2v2 because the field is opened up just a bit more. And I think if the Tigers keep up that level of aggression and timing in the midfield in the next game, could very well go lock to 2s into the game 5.
Yeah, I agree. And then just watching the Blizzard, especially in the last goal that the Tigers scored, it was Hamburglar and Kyle Murphy. They were both up. But once the Hamburglar ended up whiffing, Kyle had complete faith in the Hamburglar's ability to pass to where it ended up messing him up. And I guess that's just for them, 1, they're being too close. And 2, they probably have a little bit too much faith in each other's abilities to handle the ball to where if one messes up, both of them mess up, and then it leads to a goal.
Let's go ahead and get game number 4 under the way. Tigers looked solid in game number 5, shut out the Blizzard and put up a solid offensive showing as well. We shall have to see what game 4 has in store for us under the sea. Kyle the Murphy towards the net. Banjo going to backflip that into the corner. Already 20 seconds gone in game 1, and again, we find ourselves back on this Blizzard zone with which the Tigers have to feel comfortable being in, and Banjo takes it himself out of the corner.
I remember back in game 1, there was a lot of hesitation from both teams. Banjo doesn't hesitate to send this down, gets into the air with the quickness to knock that way over Kyler Murphy's head. That's how you score the first goal in game 4.
Really tight angle as well. Well done indeed from Banjo. And again, starting his team off right. If I'm not mistaken, Tigers have scored first every single game in this series. It's now Hamburglar, the long clear downfield, hard off the sidewall. He's got to track this one down. Advantage of position, Kyler Murphy able to watch it. It's going to be in the left side from downtown. It's locked at once.
Yeah, right when this challenge is made, Banjo only has 14 boosts, and that ball sent hard and wide. He tries to flip to get there in time, but like I said, Kyle sends it just too far wide from him to be able to make the clear. That's a great challenge.
Tough break for Banjo as well. Just when you think you're safe to grab boost, to get long shotted out of the midfield, and that's going to be a giveaway over to the Blizzard. This one definitely off target. Banjo will have a bit more time to react to this one. Out of the corner, Hamburglar off the back wall. Nice high touch. Pork chop up to try and meet it. He'll just fall back to earth and deem it not worth his time. Doesn't secure his corner boost on the way out, and that will make it fairly difficult for him to get past defenders. He's able to pick up that Blizzard corner boost, follow through, just smashed off the back wall by Banjo. Blizzard again, dodge a bullet.
Yeah, and it's honestly crazy to see just how comfortable, I should say, that the Tigers are where Banjo's even taking those kind of shots. There's been a lot of ground play for the majority of this series, and now we see Banjo. He's already scored an aerial goal. Look, he's coming out with the demos now, and then he almost scored another aerial goal with intense speed. He's really feeling good about the series.
Oh, Kyle, a big miss on the open net. Banjo swipes one away. It's on the right side, and will secure it. The lead in favor of the Tigers.
The man to watch right now on the Tigers, it absolutely has to be Banjo. He ends up positioning himself to win the challenge. Hamburglar doesn't make contact, and then he has enough speed where he can catch it, redirect it in. He's 2 for 2 now for the Tigers, and we're going to see if the Blizzard can cool him down.
I'm sorry. If the Blizzard can cool it. He nailed it. I cannot wait if we get a Blizzard Flames matchup.
Yes.
That will just make my day. Banjo into the corner. That's a great bounce into the midfield. The big misread, the post and in. Banjo's on fire.
Absolutely. He has a hat trick. Gets it past both members with that challenge. Kyle's on the rotation back, but yet again, comes up with a big miss. Banjo makes sure not to miss it. In the upper 90, bounces it off the post and in.
Well, again, this one dangerously close to getting out of hand for the Blizzard. They still got 3 minutes, but that midfield aggression and timing working out so beautifully for the Tigers. Bit of a weak clear from Kyle. Pork chop off the back wall, the 1-2 touch, and Hamburglar there to meet him at the corner of their box. Banjo, aggressive challenge. If he can just reach this ball, and Hamburglar, we've seen it so many times, just so strapped for boost on his own half that he just can't make the touch that needs to be made. Jumps really early. It's going to float by him. Banjo is lurking at the top of the box like a shark.
What a bump.
They are so fortunate that was wide.
Absolutely. A nice bump from Pork Chop to knock Hamburglar out of the net, leaving the net open, but Banjo just couldn't send it in. And like you said, Blizzard very fortunate right now. The Tigers, this aggression is something we haven't seen before, especially from a team that's actually down in the series.
Pork Chop trying to read this bounce off the back wall. Doesn't quite catch a piece of Kyle, and Banjo unable to follow through as well. Denying that corner boost once again. The boost control slowly tipping in favor of the Tigers. It started back in game 3. Really aggressive challenge. A little bit too far away. Kyle's racing back, throws it into the corner. Again, another heroic effort to keep his team in it.
Oh, but does it?
Over his head.
What a shot! Amazing shot here.
Has been absolutely on fire out of the corners. We saw him drop one into the top left corner. This one just scooped right off the side lip. And a beautiful shot again from Banjo. He's got 4 now. He scored, 3 in the last game? The guy's put in the last 7 goals for the Tigers.
He is on fire, and the Blizzard do not have an answer for him. It's like he flips a switch and immediately gets into the zone. We've seen him make all kinds of shots, whether it be ground plays, aerials, but can he make the save? Oh, it bounces off the bar. Hamburglar is going to knock it in, brings the deficit down to 2.
It was, so close. A big mistouch there from Blizzard. Kyle off the bar. Hamburglar falling through it, and Banjo full stretch. No, can't do it, man. It's just off his nose and right into the top of the net. A tough break. The Blizzard get themselves right back into it. They've got 1:37 to find the back of the net twice and force the second overtime of this series.
Yeah, it was a nice challenge though from Banjo, especially with Kyle applying the pressure, going for the bump. He did what he had to do with all the resources he had, but just couldn't save that one. Now, can the Blizzard start to go on a hot streak? Well, I mean, I guess a cold
Yes, they
streak.
can. Yes, they can. Pulling him down. Kyle the Murphy right out of the midfield. Banjo just trying to get this ball away, and Kyle says, hang on a second. I can beat you to that ball, and he'll just slam one into the right side. They're back within one with a minute left.
Yeah, this is absolutely close. If the Tigers can win this matchup, they'll be able to force Game 5 in the series where whoever takes it wins. But the Blizzard want to close this out early. There's a minute 16 left on the clock, and the Blizzard only need one more to tie at least.
Ooh, bit of an awkward touch for Kyle. Really trying to make sure he gets the touch. He's struggling, and Banjo will make him pay for it again. That's his 5th goal of Game 4.
All he had to do was stop, and he kept moving with the ball, and then he ends up going up the back wall, and Banjo just comes through with the quickness, sees the open opportunity, and now brings that deficit back up to 2. Tigers up 5-3.
And a little bit of a fun fact, courtesy of Inanimate J, our resident understander of all things MLD, has informed me that the Flames versus Blizzard matchup will be in Week 7. So we'll have to make sure we come back for that, Daz.
Yes, because that will be... will it be hot or will it be cold? I don't, you know.
We will workshop all the puns for that week. It is going to be brilliant.
You wear a sweater, and I'll wear a tank top.
Something. Yeah, a tank top. Pork chop hard off the corner. Follow through Banjo off the back wall. Not going to happen. And Kyle can't get it out either. Is Pork chop there to meet it. Again, this challenging out of the midfield. Keeping it on this Blizzard half, but this time they have to make sure they don't overextend themselves. Banjo goes right through Kyle at the corner of the net. The final 20 seconds ticking down, and they're going to need one pretty much now if they want to have a chance of taking overtime. Hamburglar a little slow, still able to get that touch through. They're on the right side of the pitch, but it might be a little too late. Aggressive challenge smash to the far side, and that is going to wind things down for game number 4. As the Tigers have managed to tie the series up at 2-2, the Blizzard made it close. But unfortunately, the Tigers' early game offensive pressure and Banjo going absolutely ham has brought them back to the series tied.
I'd say he was going absolutely pork chop, but because Hamburglar's on the other team. But regardless of that fact,
you're right.
he scored 5 unassisted goals for the Tigers. 8 shots by him, 1 from Pork Chop. Pork Chop's still been doing a great job just kind of facilitating the field, being able to cut out touches and open up opportunities for Banjo. But it's all been Banjo. He's been the scorer for the team. The Blizzard are going to need to find an answer for him if they want to take the series. And that's going to be tough because he's been on fire for the last 2 matches.
And it all comes down to this. Does the momentum continue for the Tigers? They've struck first every single game. Also now Banjo out again into the midfield. And tell you what, before we really get into this game number 5, just a quick little preview for you guys in the chat. We at MLD, because of course the people who run it are nice, kind of benevolent people. Hamburglar, going to clear that one away. They are doing a $10 Steam and PlayStation Network gift card giveaway before our second match of the night. So after this series, we're going to go ahead and do a sub giveaway. It is only for subs of MLD, so if you want to be a part of that, make sure you sub now in the middle of this match. Otherwise, you have to wait for the next one. It's now Banjo out of the midfield, and Hamburglar going to smash this one off the side wall. Usually a cardinal sin when you're on your own half, and cleared away. Chance to recover.
Right now, we're scoreless into the first minute, which has kind of been usual. I mean, we usually see a goal, around this part of the match. But so far, it's still going back and forth. I expect teams to kind of play differently because this is game 5. There's a lot of pressure, but whoever can keep things under control will come out on top.
Chop slowly out of the corner. Kyle actually took it away, and my goodness, the Blizzard again escaped the jaws of death, and this one to the far side going to be off target.
Pork Chop had the shot. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get quite the touch on it. Rolls off of his front left wheel and rolls slowly in front of the Blizzard. Blizzard have to be careful. Now they've left it open for Pork Chop. He's going to give the Tigers their first goal as per usual this series.
Daz, how did our Chinese friends put that on the forums?
That is the old driver scoring in the empty door.
Excellent.
Hamburglar struggled to get the clear and left an empty door for the old driver to put the ball in.
No problem. Is Pork Chop out of the midfield. Follow through right at Banjo in the net, and it will be kept away. As now Kyle the Murphy, he's been able to find the back of the net more than a couple of times with some great touches out of the midfield, but that short game for the Blizzard seems to have come up short for them. That was, I used short too many times in that sentence. I'll figure that out. As now Pork Chop towards the net. Slow post and not in. Banjo just overcompensated a little bit to the right.
Yeah, very unfortunate for him. I was going to say, if he was still on his hot streak, that would have went in. It seems as though Pork Chop, who's kind of lagging just a little bit, has been doing his part on offense. 3 shots from him, none from Banjo, and Pork Chop, again, scoring that very first goal. He might be the hero of the series if Banjo can't get on target.
Banjo now out of the midfield. Actually just going to take that boost and cut back out. We'll keep this one on the Blizzard half. They double commit. This is the chance. Hamburger does not put it on target. And that is a huge break for the Tigers. One mistake almost cost them.
Yeah, for Hamburglar, when you have that opportunity where it's just a net wide open, have to focus on getting that ball as center as possible and with as much power as possible. Still ended up bringing it to the Tigers end, but with no follow-up. It goes right back, and then Banjo finally gets one on the board.
Again, all this midfield pressure out of the Tigers. The Blizzard just not quite quick enough on their own half to really effectively clear the ball. The Tigers have been right there to meet them every single time, and the Blizzard coming up just so close to being able to secure that ball, get it out into the neutral game again. But for the past 3 games, the Tigers have really brought the aggression out of the midfield, and it has paid dividends here. As now in game number 5, they sit on a comfortable 2-0 lead. And again, Pork Chop there to meet the clear from Kyle. High off the ceiling, Hamburglar takes that midfield boost, gives up the ball, pinch off the ground.
Shot.
Pork Chop says, I can do it too, Banjo, no problem.
Absolutely. A lot of time and space, Hamburglar goes for the boost instead of following up on the ball. So Pork Chop, he has enough time to read it, and like you said, pitch off the ground, high and way over Kyle. Can't read that in time. Tigers up 3-0 with 1:48 left.
It was a brutal ground pinch, courtesy of Pork Chop. And a big 3-goal lead here with under 2 minutes to go. I mean, normally you might say they have a chance, but it's been a long time since the Blizzard have been super strong on offense in this series. Another missed clear. Pork Chop smartly wastes time. Unfortunately, doesn't waste it well enough, as now it's back onto the Tigers' half. Just needs a decent center. That's a good one. Nice and horizontal across the net. Got a little too close, maybe going for the bump, and the offense will again peter out for the Blizzard.
And right now, the Tigers, although they're applying some amount of pressure, you saw that delay there from Pork Chop. They do want to run out the clock at the same time. This is the second long clear that they've had every time the ball's been on their end. And that takes seconds and seconds off the clock if the Blizzard aren't there to meet it. We're at 1 minute remaining. Blizzard need 3 goals to tie.
Kyle towards the net, kept away by Pork Chop. Now Hamburglar. Hard off the back wall. Really needs this touch. Just doesn't have the distance between him and the wall to feel comfortable going up for it. Tried to get the corner boost. Didn't get it. Had to challenge the ball, and still. Hamburglar. This time around, he's got boost on the offensive front. Kyle waiting patiently in the midfield with about 20. Down to 7 now, actually. Doesn't pick up the corner boost. Nobody's there. Nobody to meet him from the Tigers' side, and he gets a freebie.
Yeah, Pork Chop, he's outside of the net. Doesn't want to go up exactly for the touch, and then he ends up rotating backwards, completely just out of position for the ball. And then Kyle wants to get this score. They need 2 more. He's not going to pass up that opportunity.
Final 25 seconds counting down, barring a breakout offensive performance from the Blizzard that we haven't seen in the past 2 games. Pretty much curtains here. The Tigers are able to come back, find the reverse sweep. Blizzard took the first 2 games in fairly close order as well. The Tigers have had a lead in every single game. And the first 2 times, they weren't able to hold on to it. Finally, in games 3 through 5, they lock down the defense, get quick out of the midfield, and that will be the end of the Blizzard. And with that, the Blizzard will return to 2nd place in the Arctic Division. The Tigers going to move up at least a little bit more in the standings. Don't know if they'll actually move up over a team, but a big win in the series here for these guys. They had a bit of a rough week last week, so it's got to feel good to come back and win this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think they were like they lost 1-4 against the Foxes, so this is a big win for them, especially against a team as strong as the Blizzard. Banjo performed absolutely phenomenal on offense, and Porkchop able to close out the series with this matchup with his performance 2-4 with the assist to Banjo on his only goal. So just he came up. Both members of the Tigers stepped up when needed to be. Struggled a little bit early in some close matches with the Blizzard, but after they got that blowout, it was just all Tigers from there.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with you. And once again, would like to remind you guys before we go, or at least in the middle of this break at some time, stay tuned because we are doing a $10 Steam/PlayStation Network giveaway, a card giveaway here. And so definitely keep your eyes peeled here in the stream. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have the Hurricanes and the Wolves right here on the MLD Network. It'll be the second match of prime time on Saturday night here at the MLD Network.